Hello, Serge here from the back porch. Recently did a daily video about another concept that we can use feeling the forward upswing, skipping the rock with feeling like an underarm, sidearm pitcher, and it brought this response from Neil of Oz, and Neil said this: "Funny thing, this skipping a rock was only this Friday. I was surfing the net about lag, which I'm told is the holy grail for power, clubhead speed, and distance. In my youth, I had a little sporting ability and found skipping rocks quite difficult. I did search Serge's manual and found nothing about lag, but found heaps of tips on the Golf Channel. My game has improved since following the Serge swing, but has come up against a brick wall on power and distance. After a couple of days introducing lag, i.e. releasing the club ahead of the ball, found instant results and will pursue this element even further. Any other comments would be much appreciated." All right, a few blog posts down after that, we had this comment come on from Lynn42. Lynn said, "I like the submarine pitcher approach. I read your comment before I watched the video and headed to the backyard to try it. I felt like a couple of things happened. One, the bump was not forced, something I've been fighting since Doc mentioned a while back to just not worry about it and just let it happen. And two, I felt like I increased the lag and gained some clubhead speed." Okay, so you got the bump became a little bit more autopilot for Lynn42, and he felt some lag. So let's start by answering Neil of Oz's question about he saw nothing in the manual about it. Well, there is there. The only difference is I didn't call it lag. All right. Now, lag is probably the general term, and before we go on and I read what was in the manual, let's discuss lag. Lag is the reason why they call it lag is because you're holding the club back and up in the air. All right, coming over the top and early releasing is not lag. You've lost your angle. So the key is to, when you transition, you come down and you keep that angle between your forearm, wrist, and the shaft that was at the top. And I'm going to read a few points that come out of the that are not come out of, but are actually in the original swing manual. As you can see, I have it right here in the cover, and I am on page 101, and it says, and this is where we do the pictures that face on and down the lines of all the positions of the swing and highlight all the unique points about those positions in terms of what you should be at in parts of the body and what you should be feeling. And this is titled "The Bump." And it says, the Serge golf swing is one fluid motion. There is no pause or stop at the top of the backswing. A lot of people talk about getting up to the top and setting the club or pausing. There's none. It's just up and down. It's like skipping a rock. You don't come back here and pause and then go. Your lower body is already starting forward while your hand is still going up, and that's where that's where the lag comes in, as long as you hold your angles, right? Because if I come in and just let my arm straighten out, I wouldn't have any power to throw the rock. I have to keep that right angle in here and then release that at impact. So this is where it starts off talking about the lag that I just never referred to it as lag. Before you reach the top of your backswing, your lower body, hips and legs bump, or in parentheses slide or shift left toward the target or run away from your upper body. That's when they run away, which causes the body to bend or bow slightly to the right behind the ball. That's what gets us behind the ball, to approach from behind the ball so that the arms can straighten up to get the club at full extension there. And it says below that, the bump sets into motion 3 automatic reactions. It transfers the weight from the right foot to the left. Number 2, it pulls the arms and club straight down in a brief free fall until, number 3, the exact split section of the weight transfer reaches the outside of the left foot. The hips snap into a level turn, further pulling the arms, which are simultaneously exploding to and through the ball, down the line, then up to the finish, pulling the arms in the club, releasing the club into impact. But this is the point where it really stresses it. Right below that, opposite the front view picture, it says face on view. At this point, and the picture is with me right here, I've made the transition. The body's in a bump. We have a line showing the curve of the body, the arch of the body, and it says, at this point, I feel like and picture in my mind's eye. See now, it's in my mind's eye. It's what I'm picturing in my mind's eye, what I'm seeing, what I'm sensing, and what I'm feeling. All right? It says that I picture in my mind's eye that I swing the club straight down and then straight up again on this side. So in the backswing, it's going to come here straight down and straight up. Now I know that when I bump, the club laid off a little bit, but that's what my right hand is doing. It's trying to fight it, but in my mind, that club is straight up and straight down and then straight back up on this side. And the club always remaining perpendicular to the ground. That's what I'm sensing and feeling, even though I know it's not happening, but I got to sense that and feel that to work as hard as I can to maintain it. However, I know the bump in the body bowing causes the arms and club to fall a little back. That's that slight laid off. And I actually call it right here, laid off. This happens naturally, but you must try to resist it and maintain that straight up and down feeling of the hands and club. This automatically sets the angle and drops the club in the slot. What everyone works so hard to get, the angle, is what Neil talked about in terms of the lag. All right? So yes, you have to have it. Remember, what's our first secret? Golf's a game of angles. The fewer the better. So once we start with good angles and we maintain them, we got a better chance of making a good golf swing. So when you're coming up and you start your bump and you feel your hands get pulled down, you don't want to let more angle create, because if you let the club collapse and you create a more angle, it very likely pull your wrist, your fingers open, so that you've got an opening in your club, and then too much lag now means you're in too close and will likely move too far and get on top of the ball and not be able to really have a good angle coming into the ball, meaning that when you finally release, that you are still behind the ball with the club head, where the hands reach the ball first, but the club head catching up in a nanosecond or whatever it is to get there, and then you'll have the feeling that basically it is in line. So the key is that when you transition, you cannot let it set in a cock at the top, because you've lost your angle, and now it's going to be graded in the right angle, and the club's going to be laggy. It wants to go back a little bit. We're fighting it, but we're maintaining it. So lag is a good term. I've used it off and on. I didn't use it in the manual, but the key word there is this automatically sets the angle and drops the club in the slot. And when you drop that club in the slot, we got to try it in our mind, keep it as vertical as we can. So I hope that answers your question, Neil. And as you heard from the second blog, the second answer to him from Lynn42, he feel like it increased the lag and he gained some club head speed, because once you release that club, which means your arms, your hands and arms just rotate the square, palms perpendicular, where they come into just like where your hands meet here, boom, that just accelerates the club into the ball, and you start hitting it more solid, straight, and longer. And as you all know, that's the key to playing better golf and shooting those lower scores. Well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.